Chapter 141. Three-leaf scorching chi grass, ancient water beast, murder for treasure. When Han Yi stood up again, before him was an open expanse of another world, with towering mountains that reached a kilometer height, touching the sky. As far as the eye could see, there was one every 100 meters. The surrounding atmosphere was very dry, and a touch of dark red topped the distant mountain peak, emanating a wave of heat as if from a volcano. Indeed, there's no one around, but the climate inside the golden cicada secret realm is harsher than I imagined. Han Yi extended his spiritual sense and continued toward the mountain peaks. The temperature in the air was increasing, and the rocks were scorching hot. Luckily, he had purchased a cold soul bead in advance. With the bead around his neck, he felt no heat at all. Instead, it was significantly refreshing. The golden cicada secret realm, once a doused arena of immortals, inevitably has its peculiarities. It is home to many powerful exotic creatures, and it contains abundant precious minerals and medicinal herbs. The reason it is only open once every 10 years is to let the spiritual medicines grow back. Han Yi thought the majority of the inheritance must have been taken by those who arrived earlier. Besides the rare spiritual medicines, there shouldn't be many opportunities left. While he was flying through the air on his sword, he held a green wood chip in his hand. His master had specially left a mark on this object. If he follows the guidance of the wood chip, he could find Chuxiaonu and Danyu. Just, the position where he was teleported this time seemed to be a bit remote. So far, he hadn't seen a single cultivator. It was good not to have seen one. Seeing one would mean one more competitor, which wouldn't be a good thing. 2 hours later, Han Yi stopped and gazed into the distance. There was a shiny lake in the distance. Sparkling water ripples surged on the green lake, creating layer upon layer of ripples. Under the blue sky, the green lake appeared as beautiful as an immortal pool. How can there be a river in such a hot and dry place? Han Yi pondered and made up his mind. Since it's the golden cicada secret realm, this river can't be that simple. Stepping to the edge of the lake, he stood on the shore, looking at the bluish lake, where hot steam and bubbling bubbles emerged from time to time, causing him to look serious. He could feel that the lake was filled with extremely high temperatures. This was actually a boiling lake. Han Yi approached the lake and intended to throw a stone into it to test the water. Suddenly, splash, blood-red water snakes suddenly emerged from the bottom of the lake. These water snakes leaped toward Han Yi with open jaws and claws, spewing crimson liquid from their mouths. The foul-smelling liquid splattered on the hard soil and immediately corroded the ground. Han Yi frowned, flipping his palm over. Suddenly, the surging karma lotus true fire erupted and the blood-red water snakes exploded the moment they came into contact with the true fire. Boom! The entire lake was scorched by true fire, boiling again and shaking violently. The lake water spilled over, revealing the dry grass at the bottom of the lake in the middle. The grass in the lake was instantly scorched clean by the true fire, revealing a dark cave. Han Yi squinted his eyes at the cave, murmuring, "It turns out that there is a cave heaven here." He stepped forward and walked into the cave. Inside the cave, strands of chilly and eerie coldness spread out. Han Yi continued to walk forward as the surroundings became darker, when suddenly, in front of him appeared two skeletons. They were the bones of two young individuals, with horrific expressions in death. Based on their time of death, they had been dead for decades. The bones in their chests had been pierced by a sharp blade with blood all over. Could these be disciples from the sect who had previously entered the golden cicada secret realm? Han Yi muttered to himself. Although the golden cicada secret realm is a fully developed realm, it still has hidden treasures and adventures unfound by anyone. These skeletons might have been left behind shortly after the realm was discovered. This place is filled with many harmful miasmas, and carelessness could lead to death. If inhaled, it induces hallucinations to confuse the intruder. Han Yi raised an eyebrow, his eyes resembling a fox as he clearly saw the path ahead. He released a strand of karma lotus true fire to clear off the malicious miasma in the surrounding area, and then proceeded forward. Soon, he reached the end of the cave. There was a bulging rock wall, completely covered in dense runes. Han Yi touched it with his hand and immediately sensed a familiar aura. "This is a seal." A look of surprise appeared in his eyes. After carefully examining it for a long time, he confirmed that it was indeed a seal. However, the seal had been covered in dust for many years and seemed to be of no great use. He had assumed there would be some precious treasures inside. It appeared things didn't go as smoothly as imagined. Perhaps whatever was inside had been long taken away by others. Han Yi returned to the bottom of the lake, disappointed, and looked at the lake floor, which had become hot once again. But he was surprised to find several bright three-leaf small plants. Looking around, they were all over the lake bed. Each three-leaf plant emitted a strong heat, releasing an overwhelming temperature. Han Yi immediately understood that the lake was boiling and hot because of these plants. He recalled a book he had read in the sect and suddenly remembered the name of this bright red plant: three-leaf scorching chi grass. Standing at the bottom of the lake, Han Yi was ecstatic. It was the three-leaf scorching chi grass, such a rare spiritual herb. He couldn't find a single plant in the entire Qingyun, Immortal Mountain, because the environment there could not support its growth.